Good morning, Jai Hind, everyone. I am Group Captain Hemant Singh Chauhan, veteran, retired from Indian Air Force. I have an association of more than 33 years with 31 years, 8 months of commissioned service in Indian Air Force. I got commissioned into Air Force on December 1992 in helicopter stream. So basically, I'm a helicopter pilot who have flown about 3,165 hours in helicopters as well as microlight. I am among very few pilots in Indian Air Force who have flown two different type of microlights, that is Zen Air as well as Virus aircraft. I have done tenure in various places, operational flying in western sector, northern sector. I was twice posted in J&K. During my first posting, the Kargil happened, and immediately after Galwan, I got posted second time. I also done long tenure in northeast area and flown extensively in the hills as well as jungles of northeast area. I'm a qualified group testing officer from Defense Institute of Psychological Research and have done two tenures. One AFSB at Dehradun and second at 3 AFSB Gandhinagar. In fact, I got an opportunity to raise 3 Air Force Selection Board at Gandhinagar at 2012. It was an extremely beautiful opportunity which made me learn a lot about how to go about raising a unit, because since the time 1, 2 and 4 AFSB were formed, no other selection boards were newly formed. 3 AFSB came as one of the project which was cleared by security committee well in 2011. This was the first operational selection board which was cleared by the body among the 7 SSBs. So excellent opportunity, and during that time I had catered all the requirements that is felt by interviewing officer, a psychologist and a GTO. Though it was a small unit at that particular time, but we got it operationalized within a period of 6 months and the testing started. So an extremely beautiful opportunity of creating various obstacles, that is what we call as testing tool for GT. This is about myself, a small introduction. As we move ahead, we will talk more about the group testing as a technique utilized for personality assessment of candidates in Air Force Selection Board and SSBs. I got my training done long back. That is training at DIPR in 2006, and at 2007 I got my operational training in Mysore AFSB. Thereafter, next year, that is 2008, I got posted in Air Force Selection Board Dehradun. Whatever learning that I have undertaken during my theory phase as well as on-job training in Mysore, this was a time and a challenging time to apply all the learnings. I had very knowledgeable seniors at that particular time. I really feel myself blessed to have learned a lot of things from them, as it was my initial time of growing up as a successful group testing officer. As a GTO or as any assessor, you are always aware that though you are assessing the candidates, but continuously you are also under monitoring. That is, you are also getting assessed by others while you are performing your own job. This testing has helped me a lot in knowing myself. That is, I further became self-aware about myself. I learned how to implement the instructions, how the briefings to be carried out so that nothing is left out and candidates' performance is not hampered. Finally, how the organizational goal is important was learned, and it was always kept above the personal goals. So, about 3.5 years of experience at Dehradun, where we created and modified number of structures, various testing tools, and it was during that time that I opted out when I came to know that one more AFSB is to be created somewhere in the western sector of India. Since I belong to Gujarat, I took this opportunity, though I was told that it's going to be a big challenge as raising a unit is a very hectic task. I took this challenge and started my work in 2011, and finally got posted at Headquarters South Western Air Command at Gandhinagar to start my groundwork for raising this unit. So an excellent experience. I learned a lot, and I had passed this learning to other GTOs who later got posted in. GTO is group testing task. As the task name suggests, the candidates are tested in a group as a part of the group and also individually. So various series of tests are conducted as it is done in other tests also. That's a basic series, a confirmatory series, and a final series of tests. Total, there is a battery of 9 tests, which is divided as indoor tasks and outdoor tasks. Various key qualities that the GTO look forward to is the practical application by the candidate while undertaking this task. So practical intelligence is very important. Planning and organizing ability of the candidate, how nicely they grasp the various aspects, that is briefing, various things when they are being explained by the GTO in indoors and outdoors, and how resourceful the candidates are, how they grasp the situation, they pinpoint the resources and utilize these resources becomes a very important part of the group testing. Beside that, since it's a group test, the group mindedness of the individual is into the picture. Various aspects like cooperation, cooperating with the group whenever the group goal is being given, giving up our own requirements towards the group corporate solutions, the manner in which you express your views, your expression is very important, because in the group task continuously you are discussing things, various things with the members of the group, and without this discussion you cannot function as a member in a group activity. Thereafter, how confident you are putting up your views, how confident you are in the indoor task, and what is the impact that you look or you put in the group. That is, ability to influence becomes a key factor, is one of the OLQ also. In the outdoor task, the GTO also look forward towards the agility, determination, courage, and stamina of an individual, because once you are in the outdoor, a lot of things are to be done. You have to handle various materials, helping materials, you have to handle load, you have to do various obstacles, and for all these, the physical fitness and stamina is the important thing. The GTO is very keenly observing the individuals who are discussing the aspects, giving the priorities, how logical these discussions are, what is the sequence, and what is the reasoning that they give when they prioritize the various problems. A lot of things are looked into while undergoing the group testing by the GTO. And now all these aspects which I have covered, they form part of one or another OLQ, and most of the tasks that are designed cover, if not all, most of the qualities that I had discussed some time back. So these are the key things that the group testing officer look towards. But the underline is how nicely an individual becomes a part of a group, how he work in a group, how he gets his performance get modified by the group, and how he modifies the good performance. These are the few things that a GTO looks into. See, the coaching institutes are basically telling the candidate about various aspects, the theoretical aspect as well as practical aspects. However, even after undertaking the coaching, few basic things that the candidate fail to realize or do not put much effort, I shall be discussing about it one by one. These are very, very basic things. I'm not going to tell anything which is not heard by the candidates, and all the candidates will agree with me that sometime or other, starting from when they started growing up, then the house, going towards school, colleges, people who are working out, working with their in their organization, they must have heard, or at times must have uh, heard from their own subordinates, parents, teachers. I shall be discussing about those particular aspects. The first aspect that I shall be talking about is the appearance or the looks. All of us, when we look towards an individual, we also talk about how that individual carry himself. So the appearance or the looks of an individual matters a lot. Now, when I say about the appearance, it's not that how beautiful the individual is looking. Basic, an individual may have a different look. We all are from a different community. We come from a different part of the country, and we have different looks. But basic thing that any assessor or any individual, for that matter, will be interested to look forward is how a person carries himself. That is his looks, his appearance. The first important and most important thing is the person, his face is clean shaven, or if it is not clean shaven, he is maintaining beard. Is it properly trimmed or not trimmed? The first and most foremost thing that a individual look towards a male candidate. Thereafter comes the haircut. The individual is taken a proper haircut, or he's keeping a long, funky type of haircut, or putting a small sort of a choti. कुछ लोग बना के घूमते हैं, अजीब से बाल बनाते हैं, and they have now started coloring the hairs in a different manner. So all these aspects, is it giving an appropriate look to your hair, is looked into. Next aspect that is looked into is the clothes. That is appropriate to the climate and condition where he's working. Second is, are the clothes clean, ironed? Any type of clothes which are very, very casual, like a round neck t-shirt or a jeans, may not be appreciated by the individuals at these institutes. In fact, in most of the companies and organization also, these are not taken in a good manner. Thereafter, the posture in which the individual carries himself. A lot of people, they have drooping shoulders. They will not walk in a straight manner. When they move their steps forward, it's not being calculated. No, these things are definitely taught in armed forces, and you will be taught about it. But the basic grooming has to be there, which is, I'm sure, most of the schools and colleges they undertake, but they're not taken very, very seriously. Next aspect comes into is when the individual is wearing a coat or shirt. Is he wearing a tie? If he's wearing a tie, which type of tie is wearing? Or if he's wearing a scarf, what is the type of scarf? Is it gelling with the clothes that he's wearing? Next come is the shoes. Most of the people, they wear shoes in a very formal dress. They will wear sneakers, which is generally not acceptable. So the best cloth to wear during SSB for interview as well as conference is a dark trouser, light colored shirt, and black or brown shoes. Now the shoes should be polished, that is cleaned, and should not have any indication of getting torn. Other aspects are it comes in the general cleanliness of an individual. I talked about hair, I forgot to tell. नाखून कटे होने चाहिए. बहुत सारे लोग लंबे लंबे नाखून लेके आते हैं. I can understand girls are maintaining long nails, but the same is not acceptable from boys. Cut or trimmed nails for girls, which are actually clean, is always appreciated at all these places. Other aspect the mistake that the candidate make is whenever the briefings are on, every task when it starts, they start with briefing. With PPNDT, the psychologist comes and carries out a particular briefing. A lot of candidates, they do not pay attention to these briefings. It's a very minor thing, but when they don't pay attention, they miss out on very, very important aspect of that briefing. Similarly, when a GTO is conducting a task, before every task he carries out a briefing. I'm sure the IO also conducts the briefing before he undertakes his activity of interview. Sometimes it happens that during the briefing, a lot of people have got a habit of asking questions. This should be avoided. Keep your questions for last and clarify it later. And question for the sake of just asking question is again not acceptable. So these are some of the very, very common things, and these mistakes are being made by people. Some people are very, very verbose. They will keep speaking so much which is actually not required. This is again not taken very, very in a positive manner. Not very much, but it is seen that some of the people who are working in a particular organization, they come from there, or students who are still part of college, they have a habit of putting down their organization or a college, speaking not a very high about them. One need to remember, if you join a college or a school, you have joined as per your own choice. Nobody came to give an invitation. हम जिस स्कूल में कॉलेज में पढ़ रहे हैं, वहाँ हम कुछ नॉलेज लेने के लिए गए हैं, और if we are working in an organization, we are paid by that organization. Basically, it's a bread and butter for us. तो उसके बारे में गलत बोलना या खराब बोलना is not acceptable. There's a habit of people who keep cribbing about various aspects. We have a lot of problems here and there. Whenever you go out of your house, the life is not that rosy. But these are the challenges that one need to face. So speaking against an organization is again not acceptable. Some people, they come after coaching, and they feel that after coaching, and some candidates who got recommended previously but could not make it to the final merit, show an amount of overconfidence, and even after giving a hint to them that they should not hamper their performance, they continue to show this overconfidence. This is again one of the mistakes that a candidate should not make. Even if he got recommended, there's nothing big. He should behave like the way he came in the previous SSB, and keep going through the tasks the way he had done. So these are some of the things, and we keep saying, as a GTO, I keep saying there's nothing wrong in preparing for SSB whenever you go. Some of the people very casually make a comment, "Sir, I didn't prepare." I thought that I will go for the SSB and see कि यहाँ क्या होता है. Now remember, your first SSB is the best SSB because that time you're the fresher. If you miss that opportunity, then thereafter you will always be called as a repeater. So always put in 100%. Go with a mind that I want to clear my SSB in first go. So keep this particular aspect, and if you're not able to make it in first go, prepare for it. Seek advices from an authentic place. And the best advice that I can give to people is increase your knowledge base. And this knowledge base can be increased from very basic way. Like I'm very fond of telling this, that you should start from your home. अपने घर से शुरुआत कीजिए. Know about your parents. आपके पिताजी क्या काम करते हैं, उनकी सैलरी क्या है, मदर का बैकग्राउंड क्या था, पिताजी का क्या बैकग्राउंड था. And all these aspects also becomes a part of your SD, as well as I'm sure interviewing officer also talks about it, about your brother, sister, about your neighbor, about your own town, your district. What is the important aspect of your town? Is there any historical background? Is your town famous for any particular type of dress or a cuisine? You should know about all these. Which are the various states? Basic, very basic type of preparation. But if you go ahead with this preparation, somewhere or other it is going to be becoming a part of AFSB. Interview, probably in a psychological test or a GT. You will be able to discuss about it. You will be able to talk about it amply. And obviously, if you have this particular aspect of trying to know things, you will also know about your state, about your country, your neighboring country, and further you will expand your horizon of increasing the knowledge. So these aspects becomes very, very helpful once you are there in SSB, and obviously raises your confidence level compared to other candidates. So these are some of the things, mistakes that they do, and how they can groom themselves and prepare themselves before going for any SSB or AFSB. So as I talked about the key qualities, all the group tasks that are designed, they are designed in a manner that the OLQ is automatically coming out of it. The GTO is continuously monitoring the candidates starting from the first task, that is group discussion. Now here, how an individual is able to analyze himself, how is the individual able to analyze the topic that was given and discuss about this topic, the manner in which he put his views, the manner in which he expresses himself, the manner in which he logically reasons his point, and whenever countered by other, what is the logic that he utilizes becomes very, very important. So factor one is becomes a very important part in the group discussion. Further, in group planning exercise, also the grasp and the priorities that the individual is utilizing, and the grasp that is shown and the priorities that he put forward while solving various problems of group planning exercises, the resourcefulness of an individual while carrying out a discussion, the speed at which he discusses, the way he utilizes his communication skill. Now, when we talk about communication skill or the expression, it doesn't mean that an individual need to speak only in English. The way he is able to express himself, and this becomes a very important part of a GTO's briefing. He very clearly brings out that you need to express your views in a language that we all understand. That is, if you use English and Hindi, that is good enough. No candidate should feel that because of not knowing a particular word of English while undergoing a discussion or putting his views forward, he was not able to participate. They should not have. A candidate should get used to utilizing the mix of language wherever he can. The indoor activity also gives you an opportunity like lecturate, where you are able to organize your thoughts in a manner that it can be covered within a period of limited time of 3 minutes. So the organization of your thoughts, how you put which point before discussing something else, is looked forward by a group testing officer. This is a very vast topic as to how the OLQs are evolved while undergoing the indoor and outdoor task. What I'm briefly telling you about it. Later in the outdoor task, as the tasks are outdoor, and some of the helping material, or I'll not say some, the helping material that is being given for the individual to use while undergoing the task are not very familiar. So this creates a sense of unfamiliarity, and how the individuals move ahead in this unfamiliar situation for negotiating the task is seen by the GTO. So the practical intelligence, the reasoning ability, and organizing ability is brought forward. Now here in these tasks, till the indoor task, candidate are basically sitting and talking and discussing objects. But when you go outside, you need to show your ability to implement the ideas that are evolving into your mind. So practically, you have to move. You have to put things from one place to another. You have to move on a very limited area, and move your body over a plank, bully, which at times is not very comfortable for most of the candidates. So these aspects brings out in the mind of a GTO that how nicely an individual can function in an unfamiliar situation, and while he is doing it, he is continuously becoming a part of a group. He is moving ahead in with the group as a member of a group, and since these are all leaderless tasks, everybody is permitted to work, but slowly and steadily as the group moves forward, uh, one or two leaders are evolving while undergoing the task. So everything is being monitored by the GTO, and the queries are generated, which finally get resolved in the confirmatory series of the task. Since these are outdoor tasks, the agility of an individual, physical stamina, and the ability of an individual to stand by when facing mental as well as physical stress is seen. And excellent tasks are the individual obstacle, which very clearly brings out the factor 4, that is your determination, your physical, mental stamina, and courage. So these are the various aspects of the OLQs. How it's a very broad talk, and I'm sure we will prepare another video where we'll be explaining as to how the 15 OLQs are evolved while undergoing the group testing technique. Yeah, I'd like to share one very, not one, I'd like to share two very important incidents that I still remember as a GTO. Uh, there was a group that I was testing, and the group appeared to be quite okay. And accordingly, there was a group of 8 candidates, and out of these 8, 7 were recommended by me. And the 8th person who was not recommended was again a borderline case. So this group, I went to the conference with a lot of planning, and with a lot of explanation as to how come I have recommended so many candidates from this group. But to my surprise, when I reached there, out of the 7 candidates that I have cleared, 6 got cleared, and out of these 6, 4 were cleared by all the 3 techniques. And the 7th candidate which I got had cleared did not go through, could not come into the discussion, and the person whom I kept as a borderliner came to the discussion and again got cleared. So out of 8 candidates, 7 were recommended. So I'm sure the four candidates who were cleared by all the techniques must have made it to the merit list also, because they were having very high marks. Another incident that I remember, a very interesting incident, was giving lowest marks in my career as a GTO. That was about 42 marks was given to the candidate. Mm, and to this candidate, when I gave 42, that means he was not even coming to a discussion level. This candidate was again given very less marks by a psych as 5.9, and interviewing officer gave him 6.0. So everybody was in agreement that this candidate should not come to the discussion level. Most of the time, when such strong personality, may it a very positive individual or a person who should not be recommended, when they are in line by all the three techniques, you feel very great about it. So it's an excellent experience. Again, one experience regarding a candidate who was from, I don't remember, he was Sainik School or RIMC, but this candidate was cleared very high by the interviewing officer, and was given very low marks by the psych as well as group testing officer. And this candidate, why it became a very important point of a discussion, because this happened during the time when the All India Standardization exercise was being undertaken. That means the team from Army, Navy, Air Force and Coast Guard were collectively had come together and were doing the assessment. So finally this candidate was not recommended by any of the board, neither by Air Force nor by Army or Coast Guard. These are some of the very unique experience that I have gone through, and I still remember them after such a long duration, from where I have stopped testing. This is what I wanted to discuss. Right, candidates. So I feel that all of you have heard me. This is my first video, and I shall be creating more videos at SSB Mentor. Hope you like this. If you have questions and comments, please mention into the video, so that I will further understand as to which all things you are wanting me to discuss. And definitely, since this is the first thing, I have briefly talked about various aspects of group testing technique. Thanks a lot for hearing to this. Jai Hind.